Good evening, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our Happy Teens, Happy Parents webinar. Soroptimist International is a global voice for women, and we are a global volunteer movement working to transform the lives of women and girls through awareness, advocacy, and action. This webinar, Happy Teens, Happy Parents, is one of the series, from our series, the Teenage Survival Kit. And I hope that you will enjoy. Soroptimist International Club of Bangsa, which is our club, was chartered on 23rd of October 1992 and is one of 16 clubs in Malaysia. Now, the SICB, which is Soroptimist International Club of Bangsa for short, SICB Teenage Survival Kit is our current project. And it is a program designed to provide information and support for teenagers to understand and cope with challenges faced by them, and to create awareness and educate teenagers about the challenges they may experience in the growing up years. We also want to provide guidance on where and how to seek help when they are faced with such problems. On top of that, we will provide a safe platform for open communications with teenagers to address some of the taboo issues. Teenagers will be empowered to make healthier and safer life choices, to contribute to a happy and healthy community as a result of this program. So this program consists of 4 modules, which covers teen sexuality, which is everything to do with adolescent sexuality, puberty, teenage pregnancy, baby dumping, etc. Teen safety, which covers online safety as well as physical safety. Teen health, which encompasses physical health and mental health. And finally, teen empowerment, which is basically to develop character development as well as guidance on career development, confidence building, and we hope to promote civic mindedness and volunteerism as well. So I hope you will enjoy today's webinar, and we hope that it will help you in all that you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Peng. Now, today's program is actually the 3rd of a series of program, and this time we are so happy to welcome to this program all our young men and young ladies, yeah? And so I want to ask a question to all our young men and young ladies aged between 10 to 15. Are you happy? Because if you are happy, then your parents will be happy too, yeah? So today, actually, we want to share with you certain facts and information that will help you very much in your life, yeah, as you are on this journey towards adulthood, yeah. And so there are many things, changes in your body, changes in how you feel about things, and so we really want to help each and every one of you, and also for you to understand what is happening to you, yeah. And so today, before we start, we're going to have a poll, as I mentioned. Now, are we ready to start the poll? We will have 5 questions, which we hope that you can answer. Yeah. Okay, great, Shinju. Yes, Mitra, and okay, Zareen. Can y'all see the questions?
Bailey, maybe you can share the poll questions first, Bailey. Thank you.
No, I can't launch the poll. It has to be Sim. Sim, can you try?
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, some technicalities. Hold on. We will share screen. Yes.
They can't see the questions. Some of them are.
Oh, I see.
Some of them can't see the questions.
They can't see the questions.
Yeah.
How?
That's the first.
What do we do now?
That's the
Can
first
you all see
question.
now?
Only 6 responded.
Have to share again, is it?
Wait.
How
Show
does it work?
Can you all show the poll once more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they know what to press?
Is the question still on again for them to
Serena, you're
answer?
muted if you're talking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just need to you resend the question, can because I have not submitted.
Sim, you want to relaunch or you put me as host?
Sorry?
Can you put in the questions again? We'll answer again. I think I didn't submit also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
There are
you.
only 6. Not many are submitting.
I keep saying you need to click submit. You need to scroll down and then click submit. Probably Sim, you just relaunch the poll. Oh, okay. Got it.
Is it better?
There's nothing on the screen.
Okay, can you do again?
Okay.
Yeah, I can see already. Okay. 1 minute.
Okay.
Remember to click submit.
Must
It disappeared again. I think
You need to scroll down.
It's there. I can still see.
Yeah,
okay.
there's 4 questions.
The questions are only for the kids, right?
Looks like that. Looks like the questions are suitable for the.
Yeah. All 10 teenagers, would you like to answer? Okay, are we ready with the poll result?
Indrani, do you want to
Yeah.
stop?
Can stop now?
Okay.
Can end the poll?
Okay, I've shared the result.
Okay. Are you sharing the result?
Yes, it's already shared. Can you all see the result?
Can you all see the
can.
results? Okay.
We can see the results.
Okay, great.
Indrani, you
Okay. Okay. So probably we can take off the poll now.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. So I know to my window.
Okay, so everyone has answered the poll and you got the results. Okay. Can someone please mute because I can hear the music. Yeah. Okay. So now our next item will be, we are going to start with introduction by Dr. Indrani regarding the changes and phases of adolescence, yeah, and also reproductive health. So Dr. Indrani is a medical doctor. She graduated from Kasturba Medical College, Manipal, and she was with the Ministry of Health for 34 years, over 34 years, and she has retired, and presently she is a part-time lecturer at the International Medical University. She's also very actively involved with the Diabetes Association of Malaysia, and also she is the president-elect for the Seraptimis International Club of Bangsa. And her experience and interest has been in family medicine and public health, and she has a keen interest in adolescent health. So with that introduction, I'd like to call upon Dr. Indrani to start with her presentation. Dr. Indrani, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sister Doreen, and a very good evening to everyone down here. And I see like we have about 68 participants, which is really good to start a Sunday evening. Hi, how are y'all? Are y'all good? You can type yes, I am, or thumbs up.
Yes, I'm.
Great, great, great. Okay, okay. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to, hi. Say hi to everyone. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Can y'all see? Okay. Okay. So my topic today is going to be happy teens, happy parents. So if you all as teenagers, if you all are happy, your parents will always be happy with you all. Okay. So let's see how we can be happy together. Okay. My God. Okay. So my discussion, I'm going to take you all through the growth cycle, the phases of adolescence, and reproductive health and personal safety. I will be covering these three topics, and my two friends will be covering the other four topics: parental bonding, teen pregnancy, baby dumping, teen fathers and associated, the law behind it. Okay.
Excuse me, doctor, your slide, can you expand the screen?
Okay. Just a minute.
The slideshow.
Just give me a sec. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. Can you all see this? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, okay, what are our objectives today? We're going to create awareness of the challenges that our teenagers are facing today. And just now we saw in the poll that most of our teenagers have got challenges, and which is very, very normal. And that's exactly why we are actually addressing this issue today, to equip them with the right knowledge about reproductive and sexual health, and to build up and educate teens to prevent pregnancy, because we really do not want teens to end up with pregnancy, because that will disrupt their entire family dynamics and their education. Thus, with this session, hopefully, they will be able to make the right choices. Okay. What are the stages of human development? Growth cycle. We all know that when someone is born, they don't remain as babies forever, right? So they will start becoming a little girl or a little boy, then they grow up to from a toddler, they become a little girl, then they become a young girl. Then they become a young adult, and slowly you become a woman and become an old person. Now, this is what we call as the growth cycle. Now, this is common in every human or any animal. Everybody will go through infancy stage, then they go to the childhood stage, then the adolescence stage, and the adulthood stage. Now, we are today going to address the adolescence age, okay? Now, every stage has got its changes, and these changes are very normal and expected, but they may pose some challenges to some people, and that they are the ones who may need extra assistance to manage it. Early intervention will end up with better outcomes. So basically, when you are growing, you will face a lot of issues, but don't worry, it is not abnormal. It is normal, okay? Now, just now we spoke about adolescence stage. This adolescent stage is the same meaning as teenagers. Now, what do we mean by teenagers? Okay, anybody? 10 to 19 years. So everybody, whoever is between 10 years to 19 years are called as teenagers. So we have early teenage, which is 10 years to 14 years. Middle teenage is 15 years to 17 years, and late teenage, who is 18 to 19. I'm sure you will understand when you live with your sisters or your brothers, when they are 10 years old and you are 18 years old, you're not the same, right? Do you all think the same? Say if your brother is 10 years. How many of you all have got brothers or sisters who are 10 years old and you are 15 years old? Answer, put it in your chat. Can you see that? No? Anybody who has got 10 years, brother or sister, and you are 15 or 16? Okay. I don't have any siblings. Nitya, Serena, yeah. 10 years old. Do you have anybody who is, yeah, that's great. So, but the issue is, yeah, okay, Shanti. Wow, I'm the eldest. So everybody else is younger. But how old are you, Tracy? Okay, yeah, okay, you're 11 years old. So as you're growing, you find that your younger kids are being childish, right? My brother is older than me, she knew. How old are you? Okay, Tanusha, okay, that's great. Okay, all of y'all are great. So you will find that when you are in early adolescence, your thinking may not be the same as your cousins or anybody who is in the late adolescence. So this is part of growing up. Okay. Now, okay. What happens actually during the time when you all are growing up? This is what we call as puberty. You know, when you are actually becoming a little bit more mature than a child. Suddenly you find that, you know, this is the time when a boy or a girl becomes sexually more matured. They become more matured. Suddenly, you know, you feel that you're growing up. It is a process which happens, it often happens earlier in girls, from 10 years to 14 years in girls, and boys from 12 years to 16 years. So what happens during this time? Suddenly, you will suddenly grow taller. You find your clothes getting shorter. You know, your parents will say, oh my God, I need to buy you new uniform. Okay, you feel that physically you look different. The girls will start looking different. The boys will suddenly have a little bit of beard, little bit of short mustache coming up. Yeah, then you will find that suddenly your voice is breaking, boys. Your voice is breaking. The girls suddenly feel that you're getting some shape in your body. Your breasts are forming. Yeah. So there are a lot of changes. Now, these are the changes that happen during your puberty. Girls, the first sign of puberty is usually breast development. So you will find your body is changing. Then you have hair growing in your armpits, in your pubic area. And the last thing to happen is you will get your menstruation, okay, or what we call as period. But you must understand this is a normal thing that actually goes on in every young child, okay? I mean, in adolescence, in a teenage. In boys, puberty begins with their testes, their penis getting bigger. Their hair grows in the pubic area and armpit. Their muscles grow, so they start getting muscles. Then their voice deepens. That's why when you call, the voice is cracking. They get facial hair and it develops as puberty goes on. So what they will experience is what we call as wet dreams. They usually happen in the night. So they suddenly, you know, their mind is suddenly thinking and suddenly they think of something and they actually spurt out some liquid that wets their underwear or the sarong. So this is what we call as puberty. There is nothing to feel shy about. This is part of growing up, and we all must understand that this is part of your growing cycle. Okay? At this time, you may also get acne. Acne is pimples. There are a lot of people who suddenly say, oh my God, my face is full of pimples. But this is the time when you are time of maturity. These changes are all due to hormonal changes that is going on in your body. So as what I said, you have a lot of hormonal changes. So these are part of the challenges that you will actually go through. Now, so because of the hormonal changes, what happens? You have puberty, you have physical changes. You also develop emotional changes. There's a lot of social pressure. Suddenly you find, hey, my friends are going out. Why can't I go out? I also want to be with them. There's sexual changes that happens in your body. Sometimes you start thinking there's some reasoning which doesn't go right with yourself. One hand is telling, no, you cannot do it. It is not right. It is not morally right. But the other hand is telling, no, I can do it. Why not? I can try. Why not? Okay. So there's some personality conflicts. There's personality development in you. There's suddenly self-awareness. There's some self-concept. You want to be somebody. You want to show that you are somebody. Okay, so this is where you have a crisis. So just now, everybody had some challenges. And I think it is true. I saw some of them saying, are you happy? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It is okay. It is true. This is why we have this platform that's known as the Teenage Survival Kit. So we are actually going to go on Facebook. We are going to go. So we are hoping everybody will start locking in and giving ideas, telling us what is your problem. Then we can see how we can direct or get some help. Yeah. Now, this is normal again. So the teenage culture. So as you grow, sometimes the young teenagers, they're quite okay, but then you find that you see a lot of them love to hang out. Have you all seen this in school happening sometimes? Sometimes you find people trying to go away from school. They actually sometimes tell them, I'm going to the toilet. And then they actually want to go and try to have a cigarette. Sometimes they're trying out new experiences. Okay? They're trying because their friend is doing it. Because their friend is doing it, they also want to do it. They want to be in the in group. They want to be trendy. They want to be matcha. Some of the guys think that whatever they do is something very nice. But this is really the teenage culture. Okay? Okay. So what happens actually? Now, this is the male reproductive organ. I told y'all that, when puberty happens, when the child, from child, it's going on to teenager, then he will have a lot of hormonal changes that takes place. So this is the male reproductive organ. So this is when you find that the testes, the penis, they all are growing. And this is the time we need to make sure that your entire system is in place. Okay? Boys, if you find that the testes, if suddenly there's no testes, you don't feel it, you must immediately get help. Actually, basically 10 years, you must do something to make sure that you have both the testes in the right place, because this is one of the most important, this is the most important organ for the male's reproductive system. And what does this testis produce? They produce what we call as sperm. So the sperm is like a tadpole. They have a head, then they have this tail. Okay? So this is what we have in a male reproductive system. What about the females? So the females, what they have is what we call as an egg, ovum. But they have a uterus, they have the egg and the tube, and then they have actually the vagina. This is the female. Yep, Yoksri, is there a question that you want to ask? Yoksri? You can unmute yourself and ask the question if you want. Unable to.
Uh,
Okay, if you have question,
Doctor.
you can unmute and ask.
Hi, doctor.
Yeah.
I have a question. You were mentioning earlier for a 10 years old male, you have to test the testicles, right?
Yeah.
How do we do the test?
Okay, this is self-examination, or they can actually, while bathing, they can actually examine the scrotum to feel both the testes are in place. Okay, this is very important because sometimes you find that the testes are not in the scrotal area. That means they are actually up in the abdomen, and this is the temperature for the testes must be actually low. So if the testes are in the scrotum, they can become unproductive, meaning they will not be able to produce sperms when they actually mature. So it's urgent to actually seek medical help to bring down the undescended testes. Okay. And one more thing is, sometimes when these testes are undescended, they can actually become even cancerous. Okay. Have I answered your question?
Yes, doctor. Thank you very much.
Okay. So this is the female reproductive organ. Okay. So the female reproductive organ consists of the ovaries, the uterus, the cervix, and the vagina. And every month, an egg is produced, an ovum is produced. And this is the ovum that will actually finally get fertilized by the sperm. Okay. Okay. So every month, girls who have reached puberty, who have started getting their menstruation, they will menstruate once every month. That is normal, but there are some girls who will menstruate sometimes every 30, 40, from 28 days, they may go up to about 40 days. So it also depends. So girls, you all must mark down every month what are the days, from which date to which date was your menses. You must, all girls must have a small calendar and you must mark that date down so that you are aware of your menstrual cycle. You cannot suddenly, when you go and see the doctor will ask you, when was your last menses? Then you cannot look at your mom or your dad or anybody and ask, I don't know. Okay, you cannot do that. So every month, your body, every time you have your menstruation, you must mark in a menstrual calendar. And what happens during menstruation? It is when there's bleeding. Okay, there's monthly cycles. So every month your body prepares for pregnancy. Actually, the uterus is ready to become pregnant. But if it doesn't, there's no pregnancy, then the whole blood is the uterus. This is the blood which is building up in the uterus. So it is all ready. If pregnancy takes place, it will remain like that. But if it doesn't, then all this will start bleeding. It will all bleed until it'll come down to a small level, and then the month again it starts. Okay, this is what we call as the menstrual cycle. Okay. Now, boys, girls have got menstruation. So what do the boys have? So the boys also, they are also growing up. So they have what we call as wet dreams. Okay. Yes, Tanisha. Tanisha, unmute yourself, Tanisha. What's your question?
Yes, doctor, I have a question. If one's menstruation is up to 40 days or more, is that abnormal? And why?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. What you're asking is, if someone's menstruation is every 40 days, is it? Is it normal? Or, okay, it can be if every month is 40 days, then for that person, that might be normal. But there can be situation where every month is 28 days or 30 days. But suddenly you are stressed up because you're going to have exams. So suddenly you are stressed up. Then you don't get your period for that whole month. Because what happens is, when we go back and we see, can you see this? This ovary is controlled by these hormones. Okay, it's controlled by all these hormones. These hormones are actually produced. This first two hormones, FSH and LH, are produced in your brain. Okay, are produced in your brain, and then it comes and works on your ovary. Now, if you are stressed up, okay, you are stressed up, you got exams, or you're very worried about something, you know, that can upset your period. So suddenly you find, hey, this month I didn't get period. But the only time when that happens is when there is a reason. Okay, periods always get disturbed when there is a reason. Okay, are you clear? Anusha,
Yes,
are you
doctor.
clear?
Yes, doctor.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you very much.
Okay, so the wet dreams. Okay, so wet dreams only happens in boys, and what happens is it happens when they are usually asleep. Okay, this is actually an ejaculation of semen. Semen is actually fluid containing sperms. So they are actually ejaculating sperms, which comes out without their knowledge. They don't even know. Sometimes in the sleep, they are actually dreaming. That's why it is known as a wet dream. They're actually unconsciously, subconsciously, they are dreaming, and then they actually have a leak. And that is why they will wet their underwear and pajamas. Don't worry, this is actually very normal in teenagers. Okay, teenage boys will be facing this. Some guys may feel very embarrassed and even guilty about having wet dreams, but this is perfectly normal. This is actually normal growing up. Okay, so after knowing about the male reproductive organ, which is actually the testes and the penis, testes especially, and the female reproductive organ, so you have the sperm and the ovum. Now, this is the only way the sperm has to fertilize the ovum to produce a baby. So I know many of y'all did agree to say that the only way a person can get pregnant is through sex. Yes, that is the only way. You can dance, you can kiss, you can play, but if you do not have sex, there is no way you will have any problem. There's no babies. So if you're a teenager, you can still have all the fun. You can actually, you know, go out, but you must know what your limits are. Okay. Now, most of the teen pregnancy, most of it, more than half, are unplanned because you really do not plan to become pregnant. I'm sure you want to actually continue to study because when you're a teenager, you are actually still in school. Okay. Now, so you must know some of these personal safety points, because some tips to be safe, because you cannot be, you know, doing what you feel like doing and be safe. So your personal safety is a general recognition. So you must know what is your personal safety, how you must avoid harmful situations. You must avoid people. You must avoid certain surrounding. So you must check and see whether you are in a space which is actually safe for you. Are you among safe people? Are you in a safe environment? Okay, so one of the things that we know, a few of the things that we can think about is never walk away with strangers. Don't you just go to, like, a lot of teenagers love to go and lepak in the mall and all that. Now with the COVID, of course you can't go, but otherwise, you like to go to the mall, and suddenly you find a group of maybe one person you might know, but the rest of them you may not know. One group of teenagers coming from another school, and you are from another school. So you suddenly, meet up and all that, but they are actually not your friends. They are strangers, but you are meeting them for the first time. So you have to be careful and you have to be safe in those situations. Sometimes you may even feel uncomfortable with someone's action towards you. Somebody is, say, your father's friend or your cousin. They are you know them very well, but sometimes the way they hold you, they hug you, they kiss you, you are not comfortable. So if you're not comfortable, you must let them know, or let your parents know. Let somebody in your family know, look, I don't like the way that person is acting. Okay, the person might even be your relative. So you have to be careful. Sometimes very familiar, they come and say, oh, your dad asked me to bring you over for a movie. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful in deciding that the situation is safe. Okay, so now tell your parents and friends whenever you are going out. I think that's the most important thing. Very often you don't find that the parents, sometimes, parents ask, where are you going? Oh, I'm just going out with my friends. But where are you going? You must inform them where you are going. Because if you don't, then there is an issue. If you don't come back in time, they don't know where to search for you. And never be alone with someone who is actually, having a lot of drinks or taking drugs, because these people may not be responsible at that time. Okay, and if you are in that kind of a situation, you may end up with some issues. Okay.
Indrani, there's some questions. I think there was one girl, Shinju, or boy, and another question.
Yeah, I think Shinju raised her hand.
Okay. How do we know they take? Sorry. Okay. Arif, how do we know they take drugs? Okay. Now, how do we know they take drugs? Is usually when you look at the person. I mean, I am sure that some of them, when they are taking drugs, they do not actually look normal. Their eyes will be bloodshot, and then, they will be like talking not so properly, so you will have a problem. You'll immediately know that they are not correct, So, and if you are in a situation where there's one big group of boys, or girls, for a matter, anybody, they might be all, sitting, and then, they are not looking clean, and they look, one look at them, they look like drug addicts. Okay, then it is best for you to avoid them. Okay. Sorry, Koshikan, you asked how to test what?
No, earlier I think the testicles descending.
Doctor,
had a
that was
question.
our question earlier about the test to do on the testicle.
Oh, okay.
Shinju had a
Yeah,
question.
So can we also talk to my friends? Now, Shinju, you can talk to your friends, but you must make sure that your friends, you can share. Definitely you can share. That's great. You can share your problem with your friends, but you must also make sure that the friend is able to help you.
Friends' parents,
Yeah.
Indrani, she's asking.
Yeah.
Friends' parents.
Friends' parents.
Friends' parents will be better, so that at least they will be matured enough to help you. Because sometimes friends of your age may not see the problem ahead. Okay? So, but it's a good idea to actually, if you think that, you know, you can't share with your parents, doesn't matter, you share with your friends' parents, and then they can actually help you to solve the problem. Okay, great. This is wonderful. Okay, so at the end of today, my take-home message to you all is, being a teenager is full of challenges. Yes, we agree. You can have physical challenges, you can have emotional challenges, you know, you can have a lot of peer group, you can have moral challenges, you know. Yes, these challenges are all normal, but this is mainly due to the hormonal changes that is taking place within you, during these phases of your life. And also, at the same time, your brain is not as mature as an adult. Okay? During this time, your brain is also undergoing maturity. So their brain is also growing. It's also learning through experience. So because hormonal changes coupled with immaturity, sometimes you may take two wrong decisions. You may make wrong decisions, and that's why you may end up with some trouble. So it is always good to share. So you need to be responsible and be prepared when it comes to sexual activities. It's very important to be careful with sexual activities, because it will end, you know, it will end up with problems. Okay. 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 So always when you are in trouble, when you feel that you have some issues, reach out, okay? Reach out to somebody, and don't ever sit down and try to solve the problem yourself. You're not alone. You must meet a counselor. You can meet them in person or even online. There are a lot of helplines which are available, and we will actually later in our Facebook, we will share the helplines. Okay, with this, I will end my session and I'll pass you on to the second speaker, who is the counselor. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Indrani.
I'll stop share.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Doctor, for the interesting, sharing. And I know some of you may have more questions. Please, you can ask during the Q&A at the end of our program. Yeah. And our next speaker is a licensed counselor with the Malaysian Board of Counselors. She specializes in family counseling, trauma work, career guidance, counseling also. She has been involved in various tertiary educational institutions and in the capacity of student counselor, senior lecturer, and trainer. During the pandemic last year, and now she has been volunteering in the Talian Kasih hotline, and she has received many calls, distress calls. And so she has been helping in this area. She and her team has also started a chat line and to support those who are in distress, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. She currently lectures in Monash University. She's also a member of the Seraptomis International Club of Bangsa. And she has been a speaker for several of our programs. So with that, I hand over to you, Dr. Yo. Dr. Yo Paley.
Yeah, thank you, Doreen. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Now, before I proceed, can I just ask all of us here to just type in, if you are a teenager and you are here alone, you type 1. If you are a parent, you type 2. If you are together with your mom and dad with one device, you type 1 and 2. Or if you are with a group, you type 1 and 2. Or you type 3, you know, line in line. Okay, so parents, okay. All right. Okay, we have parents and we have teenagers who are here on their own. Okay, all right. Okay. I'm alone, Koshini. But you have all of us here with you. Okay, all right. So just to make sure that we have enough whatever that I'm going to share will address to all of us, because it's quite a challenge to have parent and teens together in one session, right? Because this is what we have gotten ourselves into, and it is really in a short 1.5 hours, 2 hours is quite hard to really like zoom in, but we will do our best. And just know that this may be just the beginning. At the end of today's talk, there will be more homework for you. You need to take your own initiative, to learn more about a particular subject. So then again here, feel free to put in your question. There's no stupid question. All right, and just like just now, if you need to come to the mic, just unmute yourself and just come in. We will love to take your question, and I would rather just listen to you, what's bothering you, and then we can try to address it together. Now, when you sign up for this, what would be the thing that you want to learn from it? I know we have had a questionnaire that gone out. Is there anything else you want to learn from this? Anything comes to mind? Is there anything that comes to mind even right now? Not things that has not been addressed. Communicate better with my teenage daughter, okay? All right. I want to learn how to socialize with a teenager correctly. Okay. Happy studying. What makes studying not happy, I wonder? How to handle kids having emotional issues. So as I have expected, it is kind of an uphill challenge, because just parenting itself, I can do 3 days. Okay. Now, therefore, today is really just tip of the iceberg. And we did a survey, and this is what all of you, many of the parents who come in, you wanted to do parental bonding. So my next question to us, and also to teenagers, if you are here, what does bonding looks like to you? If you have a good relationship with your mom, and then parent, you have good relationship with your teens, what does it look like? Can you just either come to the mic or just type in? How to make children happy in studies? How to protect them from sexual predators, especially online? Yeah, that's right. Online is definitely a big issue right now. And it really depends on your children's age. If you start them young, or you have got those filter, at least you have a first layer of protection. At the end of the day, is really communication, open communication with our kids. All right. What about children? Teenagers here. Do you want to have a good bonding with your parents? What does it look like? Okay, children go to parent for advice. What makes teenage pregnancy and how to stop it? Tan Wei Hao, are you talking from parents or from teenagers' perspective?
From teenagers.
But you are a parent.
No, I'm a teenager.
Oh, you're a teenager. Okay. To me, parents bonding is just spending time together with their children and being happy. All right. Tanisha, are you teenager or are you parent?
I'm a teenager.
Okay. When they regard us as their closest friend. Okay. Parental bonding is children and parents go somewhere to travel together. This is from parent or from child's perspective? Bimala?
My daughter type it.
Okay, so it's your daughter's perspective or the daughter type it because mother asked me to type?
No. Her own.
Her own.
Yeah. I told her whatever you want to put in, you just put in. This is
All right. So to travel together, are you talking about what? Mother fetching you to school every day or big travel like go holiday once a year?
Go holiday once a year.
Oh, once a year. What happened to the other 11 months?
Stay home. Yes, we do some fun activities if we have time or we have finished our duties or jobs. We get to spend time with each other, watch movies, play some fun activities and stuff.
Right.
My 2 girls is here. Hi.
So after the school activity, you all get to do things together. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. Well, also, it doesn't mean that we only do it while having some fun activities. While doing our projects and stuff, we get to spend time with each other more.
You're talking about with mother, is it? With parents?
With parents, yeah.
Okay. So let's say, if you are spending time with parents, what would you all be doing or what would you all be talking about?
It's really nothing. We would just discuss about our homework. Sometimes when they give us homework, we learn new things. My mother probably knows this, so we will just talk about it more and more.
Okay, to all the parents out there, if you are not talking about schoolwork, homework, or the other thing, what else will you be having conversation with your children about? Nothing to do with school, homework, study, assignment, tuition. What else will you be talking to children about? Okay, parents are quiet. Talk about their interests. Do you get a response? Current events are moral issue. Oh, moral issues. Okay, children, the teenager, not children, teenagers here. What would be the things that you want to talk to your parents about? Game, game is from Look Oi Cheng. Are you from parents or child's perspective?
Shopping. Shopping.
Drama, sports, okay. Emotional problem, I couldn't bring myself to do so. Tanisha, oh, okay. So there are situations where you want to get support from parents emotionally, but you can't bring yourself. Why? What's going on? What's the challenge? Tanisha, I must say you're not the only one, yeah?
I just feel shy to do it.
But it's your parents. What is the shyness about?
I mean, like they look busy almost most of the time, and I can't find the perfect time to do it.
Who is busy?
My parents.
Parents, listen, listen. Okay, so there are also situations where the children do want to talk, but they are always saying that the parents are so busy, even if the parents are not busy. But when we want to talk to our parent, it doesn't feel that they are giving us full attention. Okay, Ko-Shigan, yeah. What is your challenge to share emotional problem with your parents?
I'm scared.
Scared of what?
To share my emotional problems.
Yeah, why? What is your fear about?
They don't understand.
Oh, interesting. How do you know they don't understand?
Yeah.
What are some of the indication that makes you feel that they don't understand you? Anyone can also help Koshigan, if you have the same experience. By all of you sharing here, we are also helping our parents to understand teenagers. Or you all can type in. Since you are very privileged, you're always happy. That's good. Okay, let's look at Tisha. Tisha, you talk to your parent about school, they make a big deal. How does it look like when they make a big deal out of your school issues?
It's like when I have like a fight with my friend or someone like I don't like, then when I tell someone or like someone, then I just feel that you know, they will sometimes, for me, I feel that they will like overreact in a way, and you know, and I won't get like the help that I want, or like what the encouragement I need from them in a way. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, right. So basically sometimes, yeah, what do you think is that challenge, whatever you said just now?
I think it's because I think we like us teenagers, we seem to assume that our parents don't know like what we're going through, but then they actually know. But sometimes they're also just as sad as we are, or so we think that they are giving us like the wrong like type of encouragement that we need. So we feel that they don't understand us, but actually they do.
Okay, what do you need from your parents in time like this? Whenever you share your issues.
Sometimes I just need encouragement and like support, that then I know that like, you know, I can do it, and yeah, I just need motivation.
Okay, so parents overreact when the kids share their problems. Yeah. Or see, is there any difference between you want parents encouragement and when parents give you advice? Is there any difference? This question is for teenagers. Is there any difference? Because to parents may think that they're encouraging you. Like, how do you know that your parents what is the indication that makes you think parents overreact? They get angry. So that's obvious, they get angry. Okay, let's just see. Okay, keep your response coming in. They panic. Ah, okay. How do you know they panic? What does it mean when you say they panic? Okay, so you have a feeling that father will go. So that's why the fear lah. They start shouting. Okay, all right. So parents, these are all feedback for you. Okay, and the fact that our children are not talking to us, especially teenagers, is because they have learned over the years that you may overreact, yeah, or you are not giving them the full attention that they required. Okay, all right. Okay, so can you see this? You know, these are families sitting together, you know, watching program together. This is very hard to get nowadays, isn't it? This is in our midst. Which family is this? Can you give them a big hand? Are you still here? If you are still here, can you just on your video so that everyone can see? Yeah, there. I find you now. Spotlight. Can you see? Oh, there's 4 of them now. Oh, 5! Look at that. family together. It's so nice to see, isn't it? Otherwise, how would parenting and a family comes together looks like?
This is Koshakan. He's the one who said he was scared.
Oh, so scared of you?
No, our situation is a bit more complicated. I'm his stepfather.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
his stepfather, and she's my wife, who's
Mm.
mother. So they are my wife and the husband is divorced. So he is scared of his father.
Okay, then that makes sense, huh? All right. But even if parents are not divorced, there are also many children who are scared of parents. Yeah, because parents can be sometimes very strict. All right. Okay, I think that is really a lovely sight, yeah, to have a family coming together. Otherwise, each individual will be on the screen. Yeah, so this is another one which I see, Is this a family or are you an organization coming together to view this? Can someone? Oh, okay.
Peli, this is our Kuala Kubu Baru, the girls, remember the home that we have?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I got all of them to come in. So they are actually, because their camera, I mean, their video PCs don't have cameras, so they have to share.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there are about 18 of them there.
Yes, all right. And I think we need more of this kind of activities together. Yeah. Now, this is our title, right? Happy Teen, Happy Parents. Do you all agree or disagree? Yeah? Agree. Right. All right. Now, teenagers, can I ask you what makes you unhappy? What makes you unhappy? Lonely. Okay. Thinking about what people would think of you. Argument in school. All right. So, I would rather turn it around sometimes, as I'm thinking about it, right? If we have happy parents, we can also have happy teens. What do you all think? Daddy scolding, so unhappy. When parents scold me, there you go. All right. So therefore, when daddy scold you, you are unhappy. Then when you're unhappy, how can your parents be happy, right? So let's say if daddy is happy, yeah, and then they won't scold you, then of course you'll be happy. Does it make sense? All right. So I would say it's two ways, yeah. If we as parents, adult, we are happy, our children will be happy. Yeah. And then if our parents are not happy, of course it will affect our parents, us as parents. Okay, I'm happy with my father's school homework. They don't think the way we do. That's right. So we affect one another. Okay. So again here, in your opinion, do you think teenagers today are faced with many challenges? Now, 100%, those who answer our survey, who say that, yes, our teenagers are faced with many challenges. So what are the challenges teens face? These are for, let's have the parents answer. Probably we have kind of like look at it already. Too much homework. Yeah. Education, peer pressure. Okay. Okay. What about teenagers? What are the challenges you face? Your homework is a lot boring, which makes unhappy. Yeah. More so now, right? MCO, all of us have to be at home. We can't even go out and run and play sports. You got no challenge, Shinju. You so privileged, right? You just now you say you got no problem, now you got no challenge. Friends problem and school, too much of a homework. All right. Online classes give you stress. Oh my goodness, too much homework. Afraid not to be a politician. So you want to be a politician? So you're afraid that you are not a politician one day. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So if you are going to be our politician, tell us, we all go and sokong you. We go and vote for you. Which area? We need, yeah, young people for a better Malaysia. Okay. All right, Sir Lango. All right. So whatever that you have listed down, these are the common problems teenagers face. Yeah, because again, just now we saw, you know, from the growth, teenagers is really looking for their identity. It's a stage where they really are finding themselves. So therefore, they are very easily influenced by the media, by their friends. Yeah. And because they have not got the mental capacity to manage life stresses, yeah, therefore they may come across as very stressful, very impulsive. Yeah. If they experience bully, yeah, whether physical or cyber, it's going to affect them emotionally, and that's how they get into a depression. And then to help them feel better, they get into the online gaming. You know, they eventually, you know, become an addict, because only by going into a online world, they feel that they are safe. They feel that it makes them feel good. Otherwise, they will end up drinking or vaping. Yeah. If let's say they are not at home, they are out in the street or in school, and then if they are very stressed, yeah, and we know teenagers is a stage where, you know, hormone is raging, then they will end up, you know, sleeping with their partners, or sometimes even not partner, you know, just first timer when they meet somebody, yeah, they will still end up having sex. Yeah, if you have underage sex, then it become you know, then it may become, yeah, you got yourself pregnant, then you got all other issues that comes out. Defiant, peer pressure, and competition. So these are really common problems, yeah, that we all are facing right now with teenagers. And the issue also, in terms of parent-child relationship, yeah, these are 4 different enmeshed situation, yeah, unhealthy situation. Number 1 is the enmeshed diet. Yeah, the parent cannot live without the kids cannot live without the parents. So there are 2 enmeshed. Yeah, they are one. Yeah, once I had a case where, you know, the daughter, they are from Middle East. She came to Malaysia to study, but the mother have to follow her. So we are talking about 18, 19 years old. Yeah, to Malaysia, because it's the first time that the daughter are away from family, and then, you know, so the mother decided to just come together with the daughter to Malaysia. And you know, at age 18, these mother-child still shower together, sleep together. All right. And because, you know, she is always together with mother, it has affected mother and father's relationship. So mother and father become very jealous, you know, father become very jealous of the daughter, you know, things like this. So we have got this very enmeshed. So if one day, if you are the parents here, if you cannot, like, you know, dissociate or differentiate or let go of your children, that's not a healthy sign, yeah. And then we adultify our child. This is another type of parent. Yeah, adultify our child. That means children are children. Children likes to play, but then we want them to be adult too soon. Yeah, we want them to think about your future when they are only like 8 years old. Yeah, if you don't study, you will end up like a garbage collector. Have you heard this kind of statement? All right, so we use this kind of tactic to make sure our children become adult too soon. Yeah, later I'll show you some situation. Yeah, there are also other ways where we adult our child too quickly. Then we have this parentified child. Look at this child. All right, because the parents are always fighting, mother is crying, the child has to comfort the mother, or vice versa. Yeah. So this is where the child becomes the comforter to the father. So this is very unhealthy, a parentified child. Yeah. And then we have this infanticide child. The child never grow up, even after he has got children and he's married, got children, you know, it's still always a baby in the mother's eyes. Yeah. So these are situations which is not healthy, and that's where it causes problem in their communication, in their relationship. Yeah. So here, this is how parentified child looks like. Yeah. So when step kids are forced to grow up too fast, you know, these are the situations that when they are still a child, they have to really take care of their adult parents. Yeah. They have to be a mother to the younger brother, you know, those kind of situations. Yeah. Then we have the adulting child too soon. You know, nowadays we have got the MasterChef Junior, you know, some competition, you know, cooking competition, beauty contest. So these are sometimes we feel that we are doing our kids a favor, you know, by exposing them, but you are stressing them. See, a brain development should not be too stressful. If we can allow them to just grow naturally, yeah, then our brain actually grow healthier. If we put them in a stressful situation, yeah, where they feel, you know, very competitive, somehow the brain, the body, yeah, will release a stress hormone. Yeah, when there's too much of a stress hormone, just like how, you know, we have got too much homework, you know, we stress our child too much, the brain is even more not able to kind of like grow in a healthy stage. So they get into nervousness, anxiety, and that's also one of the reasons why we are seeing more and more younger kids are diagnosed with depression and anxiety. Yeah, they feel so nervous, they feel so anxious, yeah, as a child. Yeah. So if as young as you are, you know, you are already have this, right? This kind of condition, what more by the time they hit teenagers, yeah, or young adult, no wonder they want to just end their life, yeah, by suicide. Now, if you are parents today, I want you to think about this question. If tomorrow is your last day, what would you say or do or say to your child or children in the next 24 hours? Teenagers, if this is you, if tomorrow is your last day, what would you say or do or say to your parents in the next 24 hours? I'm going to give you some time to think about this. Can I get you all to also fill it into the chat? Just a few of you just fill in or come to the chat. Yeah, if you're a parent, you put parents' perspective. If you're a child, you put child in front of you. So no matter what we do or how we come across to our kids, it's always from this place of love. Live a healthy life and love themselves and their loved one. So yeah, spend more time with them. That's right. Yeah, so no matter how the parents is busy, they do want to spend time with you, but then they have other responsibility. They need to feed you. They need to make sure that you're comfortable. Teenager, I love both of you very much. I'm sorry for what I've done. Tanisha, that's so sweet. I hope your parents are with you. Parents, I always want to be with my kids. Yes, this is parents. Love, spend time, give you. Okay, all right. So you all do want to spend time with one another. None of you say, I will do more homework, I will complete my homework. Yeah, or I will complete my office work. We don't say that, isn't it? We want to say the best, the kindest thing to our loved one and have them take care of themselves, love themselves. Yeah, love their family member. Okay, well said, well said. Okay. So here, thank you. I just keep it coming, right? Yeah. So as children grow up, they typically mature in 4 areas, right? First is the body, like you can see biological, the body is raging, and biology has been covered by, Dr. Indrani. Now cognition also, this is what brain science says. The rational part of a teen's brain isn't fully developed and wouldn't be until age 25. That means children, teenagers will not still have a mature brain until age 25. Right, to think rationally. That's why sometimes, the teenagers think that, you think that you are doing the right thing, yeah, but somehow your parents, because they are older, they know better in many ways, yeah, so they really think that your decision is not the best. Just like how you want to have fun, you want to play, computer game, but your parents think something you can use your time better in that area, yeah. But then you know yourself better as a teenager, how your body is so tired and you really need to distress yourself. And that's where all the miscommunication comes in, okay? But we want to really be mindful that sometimes we think we know, but we really don't know, yeah, because our brain can still grow. Yeah, so therefore, teenagers, this is an age where it's normal for them to argue, so-called for the sake of arguing, because they already have a brain of their own, their parents, they do want their perspective to be heard. Yeah, so it will be good to be able to get them to share and just listen. One of the way how to communicate better, to communicate better is really just one thing, listen. Yeah, not just hearing the voice, but you really need to listen and understand what they're saying. Read in between the lines. Yeah, sometimes there are a lot of things they are not saying, but they are waiting for you to catch it. Yeah. And you can only catch it when you are able to really give them full attention. If you are very busy multitasking, that's where they know, oh, parents, I don't think they really are interested in what I'm saying. Yeah. And therefore, you know, teenagers, they will jump to conclusion because that's how their brain think, mother is not interested, mother don't love me, this and that, right? But again, they don't have a mature brain yet, all right? And they will make decisions that seems very self-centered, like you just want to play computer game, you don't even want to help me to do the house chores, stuff like that. Yeah, constantly find fault with adults' point of view, behave like drama queen or drama king at least some of the time. So this is from the general view that they send, but every person has got a reason why they do certain things. So we just have to understand, all right? So parents, you just need to know that this is how our brain development, right? This only by age 25, most likely they are not so impulsive. So if right now your teenagers are very impulsive, you know, they just want to argue with you, that's normal. You want to be very grateful that they are fighting with you because their brain is developing normally. Yeah. So so therefore, if you find that you are stressing yourself with your children or with your teens, something can be improved in terms of your communication skill or your relationship with them. And that's why, again, I want to appreciate all of you who are here to want to learn how to relate better. But again, this is not I don't have enough time to really go all in, but to just give you an understanding. And this is a teenager brain. Yeah, in their mind, the big part of it is thinking about sex. The birds and the bees is all about sex. Right. So this is how, that's why we always say the hormone is raging. Yeah. So this is it. That's why, you know, the biggest concern of parents is that, you know, they end up they get into a relationship and then they end up sleeping together and then they have sex and then they become pregnant. And that's one of the reasons why we have this talk also, right? We hope we can prevent. Yeah. All right. So if you just look at this, is just a general understanding. All right. So they don't have a very good, healthy self-image at this point of time. Yeah. More so if they are not from a healthy family, you know, parents always fighting with one another, they have no time to guide. Yeah. So all the more they really don't know who they are. Yeah. So kids always think they are mature. Yeah, because that's how their brain is not matured yet. Yeah. So therefore, if you know that their children, or teenagers don't have a mature brain, so for us as adults, if we claim ourselves to have mature brain, we should be able to go down to their level and talk to them, not expect them to come up to their level and talk to us, to our level and talk to us. Yeah. And that's where, you know, most of the time that's where we are wrong. Yeah. And I don't know how many of you have got this issue, and then you found out that your child is hooked on porn. Because to get themselves pregnant, I think this pornography thing is even more dangerous or more rampant than pregnant, right? And then one thing will lead to another. Yeah, porn, and then will come on together with masturbation. Yeah, so these are sort of things. Yeah, how can we even engage in conversation, you know, to talk about all this type of a conversation with them? Or maybe we as adults, this is also an issue that we are going through. That's why it's hard for us to be able to have this kind of conversation. What if our kids ask us, you know, Father, do you also got through this problem? Yeah, it's hard for us to be able to relate. Yeah, but then I just want to also us to know that it's quite kind of like normal. Yeah, so therefore, for children, right, our teenagers, am I ready for sex? Yeah. What do you think? Do you think you are ready for sex? Now, let me just take some time to get you to answer this. These are for teenagers. Can you just answer the poll there? Yeah, for parents, these are the, I'm going to show you the next slide. Oops. Okay. All right. Just have 1 more minute. Parents, you look at the question, yeah, the one that I'm flashing right now. Would you be able to have conversation with your kids around this topic? Okay, I'm going to end the poll right now because there's like many of you have already answered. All right, I'm going to stop. Yeah, I know some of you may be answering halfway through. Okay, 60%, 61%. Okay. Okay. Okay, look at the answer. Oops. Okay, let's just look at question 1. Is having sex before marriage in agreement with my own life values? Yeah. So most of you say no, but there are some of us are not sure. So you need to be able to ask yourself this question. Yeah, if you have sex before marriage, how would you feel about it? You need to be very sure so that once you're very sure of what you want, then when your boyfriend or girlfriend pressure you to have sex, you know what answer to give. Would my parents approve of me having sex or cyber sex now? Wow, most of you know they will not approve. Okay, some of you not sure. Yeah, so if you are not sure, then parents, you need to be able to find out whether is it your kids or not, right? How come they are not sure? Or the parents also give mixed messages. If I have a child, and am I responsible enough to provide for my child emotional and financial support? Now we have some who say yes. Are you young adult? Are you already working? Where are you going to get your money if you are able to? All right. So many of us says no or not sure. If the relationship breaks up, will I be glad if I have sex with this person? Yeah, we don't like it, right? So that will also means that, if I were to have sexual relationship with you, it means that I really love you and I want us to be together forever and ever. This kind of impression, right? Otherwise, I would be so hurt and you'll be so hurt. Am I sure no one is pushing me to have sex? Yeah, so it'd be good if you, yeah. So, am I sure no one? So some of you are not sure whether someone is having sex or sexting with you. Nowadays, there's this thing called sexting, and I think parents, you need to be aware what it's all about. Yeah. Does my partner friend wants to have sex or engage in sexting or cyber sex? Yeah, it's good. All of you have healthy friends who says no, but there are some who say yes. There are also very few of you who says no. But we just need one bad decision. Then it will just make our life go upside down. Yeah. So let me just because of time, I want to quickly finish this part. Yeah. So there are also this part where we grow up in our social self. Yeah, teenagers usually the priority is friends. And right now with MCO it's even worse. Yeah, so these are typical day for teenagers. It's hard to see, where we are together without gadgets. All right, so most of us, even with friends, are not just in family. Gadget is always the thing that's in their hands. Yeah. So this is one of the survey that is done. Even from morning waking up, the first thing is their handphone. Yeah, their gadget. At school also everything gadget. Now with online school, all the more. We don't get ourselves away from the computer or the internet. Yeah. And this is how our life is nowadays. So parents, if you're very upset that your children are always on the internet, what do you want them to do? What do you expect if they are not on the internet or they are not on the computer? All right. Yeah, because everything is from school, or whether they are social lives. Yeah. If it's not internet, what do you want them to do? Isn't it? And of course, then you say, well, they can talk to me, right? But do you have time for them? Okay, number one. And then when you are having conversation, most likely probably the conversation is not pleasant enough. That's why, they rather just go back to their gadget. Yeah. So generally, because of the cyber predator out there, some of parents have put in the chat, yeah, how to know. You really got to be interested in what are the game they play, what are the things they are viewing on the internet, and have an open communication with them, open conversation with them. See, some of the response also says that, my parents overreact. Yeah, the moment you overreact, your children will stop sharing more. Okay, so learn to be cool, be a cool parent. Yeah, don't over drama. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, those days, yeah, when we are not doing well, our parents will scold us. Nowadays, our parents go to school and scold the teacher. I don't know whether you can relate or not, some of the parents here. Yeah, and then if you are doing so much for the kids, yeah, the kids they really don't need to do too much. Yeah, and then where are they going to learn responsibilities? Because you are doing too much for them. So I would like to leave you all with the 4 stages of parenting, because parenting is about influence. Okay, if you learn nothing today, you just learn about this concept first. Yeah, so we have got parents and kids. So the one in the middle is how both parent and kid relate, and these are the area of influence. All right. Now, in our lifetime, yeah, there are 4 stages of parenting. Okay, and first, I'm going to use 4 C's to relate so that you can remember. 0 to 2 years old, yeah, and then 3 to 10 years old, 11 to 18 is another stage, and then 18 and above is another stage. All right, so let's look at the first stage. Yeah, so the white is a parent, the red is the child. So when 0 to 2 years old, these are baby lah. So the overlap is a lot. Okay, it's a lot. So this is where the child needs the baby. Okay, the child needs the parents. And the first C is we talk about caregiver. Okay, so now then when it comes to 3 to 10 years old, these are children. All right, so children means this is a time we teach value. We teach them what is right, what is wrong. All right. So this is where the parent become a cop. We tell children, you must do this, you must do that. And children, their brain has not grown to the capacity where they will fight back. Yeah, so they will just listen and they will do. But by the time they are in teenagers, this is where they are right now. You see, the level of influence is more distant, is smaller. Yeah, because the teenagers want to find their identity. They want to find themselves. So if you are too much over them, they cannot grow. They cannot be themselves. They cannot find themselves. And can you guess what C is this? All right. So here we talk about being a coach. What does a coach do? Think about football coach. Football coach. Yeah. When is the coach role most important?
During practice.
During practice.
Practice is before, right?
Yeah.
So before, yes. So therefore, as a parent, we need to tell the children before they get into that situation. So we need to talk about sex, sex education before they get engaged into any relationship. Yeah, because when they are in a relationship, it's very hard for you to connect or to talk sense to them. All right, just like football, if they have not been trained well during the game, the coach can only watch from the outside field and then see them lose. All right, but then after the game is over, what does the coach do? Do the coach just say bye-bye?
Scolding.
Get scolding, get scolded. Yeah. The fact that the coach scold is to teach them, next time don't do like that, isn't it? Yeah. So at the end of the day, parents, if you see your child making a bad decision, yeah, maybe we want to use a different way of scolding so that they can receive, they can learn. All right. Probably we say, we do debriefs, we discuss, what went wrong, stuff like that. We will continue to support them. Yeah. So if you think about this, if your teenager come back home pregnant, what will you do? Are you going to just tell them you are not my child anymore? You shame the family, out you go. Yeah, because if this is an impression you give them when they are pregnant, of course they won't come and tell you. Yeah, but then you know what they do? Many of them will secretly abort the baby. Yeah. So parents, before anything happens, the fact that we have this talk, we want to do prevention. If you can have coach them, what is this sex all about? Yeah, at what age? Yeah, to talk about sex. Sex education is you need to start as young as 3 years old, because different age group, different age stages, we talk about different part of sex. About sex education, because sex education when you were younger, you talk about the body parts, talk about good touch, bad touch, right? Now then at the 18 and above, we are still influencing, but there is very little. Yeah, so all the parents here, you are all above 18. What do you need your parents for? What do you need your parents for? Share our experiences. Okay, all right. So therefore, if your children are above 18 already, yeah, let them come to you if they want to share their experience. You don't have to go to them and tell them what to do anymore. See, a consultant means if I need you, I come to you, you consult me. Yeah. So a lot of times the parents nowadays, they are too much in their children's life. Everything also they want to know. All right. We have this concept called helicopter parenting. All right. Everything also they are trying to help them, save them, decide for them. Yeah. So never mind. Yeah. Let them learn if they make mistake. Anything that's not life and death, be a coach to them. Yeah. Especially these teenager periods. Yeah. Otherwise they wouldn't want to talk to you. Yeah. So with that, I'm going to stop here and I'll get we can have more Q&A session afterwards. And next, I will have my other colleague, Nora, to talk about the legal side, the implication. If at all, we make mistake, what is the implication?
Thank you very much, Dr. Yo. Thank you. Now, parents and young ladies and young men, it was getting very interesting, right? There's so much that actually to be shared, and this is the third of the series in our program. Actually, if you have any questions, please stay on until the Q&A session. You are free to ask the questions. Thank you very much for a very interesting session, Bailey. And now we come to a part which is important for many. Perhaps we would think, is this really relevant to talk about legal aspects? But I can assure you that there are many things which we don't know. Even I am still learning every day, although I'm a grandmother. Yeah. So our speaker next is a UK trained barrister at law, and she was practicing as an advocate and solicitor in Malaysia for over 30 years. She was the past president of Seroptimis International Region of Malaysia and has held leadership positions in many international organizations. Nora has great concern for improving lives in the community and is always ready to volunteer. And so with much pleasure, I'd like to welcome to present her talk, Miss Nora Lam. Nora, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks very much, Doreen. Hi, everyone. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Can you see the screen?
No, not yet.
Share the screen. Still can't see it?
No.
Okay.
Please hold on, and there's some technicalities here, but I hope everyone can stay on till the end, yeah, because it's going to be very interesting, this session by Nora.
Okay. I did try out just now.
Can Dr. Yo share screen?
Nora, why don't you try again? You just
I did try just now with Haley,
yeah, try again.
or is it because
Click on the green color button, share screen one time.
yeah, I did.
It should work.
Come, it's not there already.
Look for your file first. Open up your file first. Otherwise, let me look.
Can see it not?
Still, we can't see the screen.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
While we wait for the screen to come out.
Yep.
Oh yes, now the screen is yeah.
Okay, that gave you all time to go to the loo or get a cup of coffee, okay?
Okay, so you want to expand your slide? Yeah.
Yes, yes. All right.
Okay, thank you. Over to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's see. We start off here. Okay. I noticed there's one very little girl in there. Her name is Koshini. So Koshini, I hope it's not past your bedtime. So please stay on so that we learn a little bit, all of you. Now, we need to know what is the definition of a child, right? We learned earlier about adolescence and we learned about what's teenager. But under Malaysian law, you have the Child Act. So a child has actually many rights. And a child is actually any person under the age of 18 years. Although you call yourself a teenager, under the law, you're a child. And when it comes to whether you commit a crime, whether you do something wrong or not, where the police can catch you or, or put you into jail or bring you up to court, it's depending on your age. Okay, it could be 10 years old, where they look at it and they say you're too young, you don't really know what you're doing, so it's not an offense.
Excuse me, Nora, a bit soft. Is
Oh.
there any way you can,
increase the sound, is it?
Yes, yes.
Am I louder?
Yes, yes, now.
Okay, all right. So 10 years old is treated as not an offense, right? But it doesn't mean there will be no punishment. And if you're 10 to 12 years old and you don't understand what's going on, that's also a situation where you can possibly get away with it. Now, because we are talking about parents as well, I thought it'll be good for parents to know that there is also a law that actually defines your responsibilities, okay? And that is under the International Convention on the Rights of the Child, okay? And what is a parent? A parent is someone who has to give primary care. Primary care means important care. That means like food to eat, support, education for a child for a large period of the child's life and during their adolescence, right? But you're not paid. So children and teenagers here, remember your parents are not paid to take care of you. So sometimes parents get so fed up, don't they, when the teenager answers back. Why are you answering back? I'm taking care of you. I'm paying for your bills. I'm giving you food. Why are you not helping me? Why are you not washing the dishes? So do you understand the conflicts that happen in the family, right? Because being a parent is not an easy job. Huh? But being a child, you can answer back and you can say, I never asked to be born. Who asked you to born me? Right? And that hurts your parents. Yeah, that hurts your parents a lot. Okay? So this is a very important responsibility of the parent and for children to realize as well. I put up this poster because I think it's really interesting, and if those who are here, parents, would like to take a picture, they should, because you realize that teens actually go through so much more than just trying to do well in school, right? They have friendship issues, they have sadness, right? They also have fun, and they're trying to express themselves. So have a look at this in greater detail when you can. Now, we need to know what are the laws that affect our young people and even adults, right? But young people particularly, because we hear of so many cases of rape of girls, right? And today you also have rape of boys. Yeah, you all know that. You know what sodomy is? Maybe the parents, good time to tell your sons, right? That you don't think about, hey, don't worry, boys, you all cannot get pregnant. It's okay. You can go out and do whatever you want. No, because today there is such a thing as sodomy, which is a crime. Now, if the girl is below the age of 16 years old, even if she said, okay, let's go out and enjoy and have sex or whatever, it still can be considered as rape. All right, so this is an offense. And the other offense above 16 years old is something that will be even more serious, okay? That will be proven in court, right? So it's not so straightforward, the case. And incest, right? We hear a lot of cases. We hear a lot of cases of fathers raping their daughters, uncle, having sex with the nephew, that sort of thing. That is incest because it's a relationship that is not permitted under religion or custom. So when a family member, right, as a girl, when a family member touches you and say, I love you, I really love you, just give me a big hug, and you feel something is wrong with a hug, okay, then I think it's time for you to talk to your parents about it. And even if it happens within the family, you need to talk. Like I think one of the teens earlier said, can I talk to my parents' friends? Yes, you can. Okay, yes, you can. But also remember, sometimes when you choose someone as your confidant, confidant means someone that you can talk to, you can expose your feelings to, you can be emotional about things, and so understanding the person, you have to be careful that that person also does not have another motive, right? And that motive could be grooming. Okay, I'm not sure if you've heard of the word. It's called child grooming. Okay, I'm going to talk about it in a short while. So this is a case of an underage girl. She was only 12 years old, right? And she was raped by a 14-year-old boy. who was a cousin. This was in Kota Belud, just in June this year, right? And she gave birth. And the mother didn't know she was pregnant. Now, many parents here might say, how come she doesn't know that the daughter didn't have period or whatever? So these are the things that the parents have to be more aware. I think as one of the girls mentioned earlier, if parents are busy, what do? We can't talk to them about our emotional feelings, right? So this is the time when parents cannot afford not to be busy, right? And fathers cannot throw it to the mothers, and neither can mothers say, no, it's not my job, it's your job, your turn, my turn. No, it's your child. So if you see her not buying any sanitary pads for 2 months, 3 months, there's something wrong, right? So these are things you need to be aware of, right? But that doesn't mean that you breach their privacy by going and dig up all their handbags or look up their school bag or whatever, And that's why the communication between parent and child is so important, that it is open and non-judgmental, because teenagers don't like to be judged. Teenagers don't like to have their parents telling them, this is wrong, this is right. As Paley said earlier, you are reaching the coaching stage. You're not reaching the baby stage where you care for the child. You have to tell the child what to do. Okay, so again here, the boy, although he's 14, he's a juvenile delinquent, and he is due to be punished, right, in court. Okay, and coming back to that point earlier, when Dr. Indrani mentioned being safe, right? I think this is something the teens themselves, whether you're 10 years old or 12 years old or 15 years old, you need to know your radar has to be out to tell yourself whether it's safe or not to go somewhere, safe or not to do something, safe or not somebody say, come and sit next to me, or somebody says, why don't you come over to my place? Let's do homework together. You ask yourself, are your red alert going out? Okay. So here we come to child grooming. You will find a lot of material on this on the internet. And with social media, you will realize that there's so much danger out there. It's not just one person looking at porn, which is not interactive. Child grooming is interactive. When somebody actually talks to you on social media and pretends to be a teenager or maybe a young adult, right, and creates a love relationship and uses you for pornographic purposes, and you don't realize that, right? They start very simply, if you love me, why don't you do this, right? I think we should have a serious relationship. Why don't we do that? Can I send you something? I really have a crush on you. You look so great, right? And all the time, you are not even sure whether that's a real person. Okay, right? So this is an offense under the Children's Act. So parents take note of that. And recently, there was a case of a baker, right? He was a bakery assistant, and he was the first person who was sentenced because he actually groomed a young 15-year-old secondary girl. Can you imagine if you go to the baker shop, you go to your roti shop every time and buy roti every day, and the young guy there keeps looking at you, makes eyes at you, and he's grooming you, maybe, right? So you look out for signs, right? So we come to this part where we talk about a relationship of trust. When you are in a trust relationship, so for parents, you need to be aware who is minding a child. The tuition teacher, the babysitter, the warden, the security guard, right? But it doesn't mean you have to be paranoid about this, right? It just asks you to be aware. And same with the teen, right? Same with the teen, be aware, okay? Now, in Malaysia, we have a special court for sexual crimes against children. So this is not with all the drug addicts and all the other robbers and criminals. So don't worry if you have to make a police report, make it bravely. Okay? It can be accompanied by an adult. Are you all with me so far? Do you all have any questions? Okay, you can put in your... You want me to speak louder? Do you want me to speak louder? Okay. So you have the born and unborn baby, right? I think a lot of parents, and maybe you have a situation in your head where you think that, what am I going to do if someone gets pregnant, right? Like if it's an accidental pregnancy, for example, will the child be taken away? No, the child will not be taken away. Okay, after the child is born, but aborting a baby is wrong. Okay, it's illegal, right? The only situation that you can abort a baby is when it's a rape situation or when the mother's life is in danger. Okay, and you need a doctor's certification for that. Now, parents, you also may want to take note of this. If the child is the girl, delivers the baby, yes, you can get a birth certificate, but the father's name will not be written on the birth certificate. Okay? And what's the problem with that? So young girls out there, what's the problem with that? The baby cannot study in a Malaysian government school, right? Because the marriage was not legal. But if the baby is adopted, then you need to produce the proper papers. Okay? And fake birth certificates can definitely be identified by the government. So no con job here. Now, we talked about baby dumping, right? Because this topic today is about sexuality of teens. So these two are offenses. If a teen or a person tries to hide a baby, you throw the baby out, or you expose the baby, you put in a little bundle of clothes and you abandon the baby under a tree, or leave it in front of a church or temple or whatever, that is a punishment. That is an offense. And also, if the baby is born dead, right, and you try to throw that baby away in a dustbin or whatever, that is also an offense, right, that can be jailed. And now they are taking even more serious steps. They're even calling it murder. Okay, you know what's murder, right? All of you that have seen a lot of TV, American crime, and you read about murders, and you imagine when a baby is dumped in a toilet and the baby dies, that can be seen as murder. Okay, and this picture is a true picture. Okay, who found the baby? The security guard, because the girl gave birth to the baby in the toilet, and the security guard saw this blood streaming all the way to a dustbin. Okay, and the baby was found dead. Okay, I think this is also important. So you look, there are so many cases involving dumping of babies. 18 years old, college student. So those of you who are 15, 16, it's almost time for college. Some of you may be thinking that 15 years old, 16, you can actually get ready to go out, date. So don't ever act under pressure. If you have friends telling you that, oh, how come you're 16, you never had sex yet, you don't know anything, I got somebody I can recommend to you as a boyfriend or whatever, or as a girlfriend. Never be pressured to do something, that will get you into trouble. Okay, right? These college students, they were charged in court, and they were actually jailed. Okay, now what do you do when something like that really happens? There's adoption. Adoption is available, right? But you need a letter signed by the parents. So you can be a 14-year-old girl and a 16-year-old boy, but your parents you are the parents of the child. You will sign it, okay? And your own parents will be involved. Okay, this is just a warning. What happens to a child that's born when there's no marriage? Yeah, so there will be issues about their entitlement. Okay, not only that, how will people treat them in school? You know, when the teacher asks, well, where's the birth certificate? How come you got no papa? What do you think the friends will say about this child? Right? So I think it goes back to the earlier awareness that I think Dr. Indrani talked about, that you must know what your act is going to affect. You know, the effect of what you do, you know, is a long term. Okay, so I'm just putting down here some contact places. There's something called orphan care. So there's no need to kill the baby. Yeah, there's a place that the baby can go to so they can find a proper parent for the child. The young mother can actually go to school. There's a special school. Okay, so these are the links for that. And now I show you this last slide because I think we find a lot of cases, right, where teenagers start to take the wrong path. It's because of conflict at home. Okay, so I put here, be aware of conflict rather than beware of conflict. Yeah, so be aware of what's happening. Who do you think, right, parents, your child will go to, right, if you scold the child every day? Right, I think it's quite obvious the child will go to someone who loves them, someone who cares for them. That's why you have these issues about child grooming, right? Someone who give them something. So if the child says, I want a new handphone, how do you deal with it? Are you going to give them a handphone just to make sure that they're happy? Are you just going to say, no, you're not ready for it? You better not use handphone. It's so expensive. I can't afford it. So these are big points, although the subject matter is small, but these are points that can create conflict and will have outcome, repercussion at the end of the day. So will they go to a boyfriend? Will they go to a sugar daddy to buy for them? What will they do? And coming back to what Paley said earlier, that's why the relationship, the bonding between the parents and the child is very important. I saw a comment earlier where they said, you know, they should be our very good friends. Yeah, that's the starting point. But also be careful that it's not adultifying the child as well, being buddy-buddy, you know. I know one parent, the mother, thought that being buddy-buddy with the daughter means wearing the same clothes, right? And one father thinking that being buddy-buddy with the son means going to wherever the son is going. And the son was like, no way, man, I don't want you hanging out with my friends, okay, and wearing t-shirt, okay, and trying to look young, you know, and cool, okay. So yeah, so I think these are things that we need to be aware of. Okay, so we'll open for questions and answers. Over to you, Doreen.
Okay, thank you very much, Nora, for you know, an enlightening session. I think there are many things that perhaps some of us were not aware. Thank you very much for sharing. So we have 3 speakers now who have shared so much with us. Actually, this is a very wide topic when it comes to you know, teenagers and also for parents, yeah, and just so much. But what I like to do now is I like if any of you would like to ask questions, you can unmute and ask, perhaps one by one, yeah. And also you can also type in into the chat box if you feel that you do not want to speak, but you want to ask a question. And then we will have Dr. Indrani, Dr. Yo, and Nora to answer. If you want to direct your question to one particular person, please identify the person in the chat group or when you ask the question. Any questions from our audience here today? Anyone? Someone asked, can I be single my whole life? Yes, it's your choice. Yeah. You know, we have when I was a teenager, I thought I didn't want to get married, you know, But when I was in my 20s, I thought differently. So things will change, you know, like what Peggy said, the brain is not mature yet, right? Yeah. Now I perhaps I ask one question. Yeah. Now, Dr. Indrani, I know you are the main person behind this program, this particular teenage pregnancy program. What made you decide to have this program?
Okay, I think basically in my practice, I've been actually dealing with a lot of teenagers. We actually have been going to schools, and I realized that teenagers do have a lot of challenges. Okay, that's one thing. And secondly is, as what I explained, I mean, besides they having challenges, sometimes they do not know how to actually react to it. You know, because of this, you know, unavoidable hormonal rush in them and the changes that happen in adolescence, and the brain not able to cope with the changes. So they get into a lot of challenges. They get into problems, and sometimes the decision they make is not really right for the, you know, in that situation, but for them it may sound right. And then when everything is there, they come and see us. I mean, they, you know, when you sit in a clinic and then suddenly, you know, I find one teenager calling me and saying, you know, doctor, you know what happened? I just went out with my friends, and then, you know, without my knowledge, you know, I just felt, you know, we just got into some fun, you know, and now 3 months I haven't got my period. Now, they didn't even realize it. And then it was not purposely done, you know? So that kind of a situation. So I think this is something to create awareness. Is basically, this is a platform that we have come out with, is to create awareness, to make them understand and be responsible. In the sense that, you know, sometimes parents, you know, as what Peli said, that, you know, parents might, they don't sound as if they are your friends at that time. They may be giving you advice, and advice is not what they want. You know, teenagers, because I don't think they like advice. They think we all are, you know, old for them. You know, we are not so cool, and, you know, like, you know, what they think. But it's basically to create this awareness and let them come out with the choices, you know, and they're not alone, because many, I'm sure today many of them would have felt, yeah, actually this is it, you know. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that really prompted me to suggest to the club to do this. Yeah. Yes. I hope I've answered your question.
Thank you.
There was one question, you know, by I think one of Koshigan. Koshigan, you were asking this question about what is the right age to actually start learning about sex. Basically, there's, I think Dr. Peli has already said, there's no right age. At different ages, there's different introduction to the topic, you know, of body parts and all that. But I think the crucial age for boys, I would put it as from 12 years, because that's when they will start having changes, and girls probably younger, 10, even 9 to about 11 is fine. And parents, I think we should actually share the knowledge with them instead of allowing them to explore from their friends or from, you know, and sometimes they don't get good, they don't get the right idea about the whole thing. So that's, I just wanted to answer that question. Yep.
Thank you.
So there's one question here. If one got their menstruation at the age of 13 and above, is it normal? Yes, it is normal. Children as low as even 9 years old now seem to be already getting their menses. Now 9 is a little bit too young, but sometimes, you know, with our food and everything, I think there's a lot of chicken with a lot of estrogen, and that's causing premature maturity among girls now. So yeah, so 13 years is very normal. Yeah.
I think Sumitra, how old are you, Sumitra? Because you feel very uncomfortable with this topic.
13.
13. Okay. Haley, maybe you can help.
Yeah,
Sumitra.
there's a few of them who are like around 10, 11, 12, 13 that have not heard about the word sex before. See, parents, this is your responsibility to introduce them to sex, to this topic. Yeah. Otherwise, they will learn it from their friend eventually, or they will learn it from the internet eventually. Yeah. And that's why I say, you know, sometimes, you know, at the end of this seminar, at the beginning of you, especially the parents here, to really find out how do I talk to my kids about this topic. Yeah, if we skirt around it, or if we try to avoid this topic, they will still come to find out, but they will find out from the wrong source. Yeah, and in fact, you know, it is a very beautiful thing. Sex is a very beautiful thing. Yeah, it is a pleasure, you know, if you are doing it in the right context. Yeah, and then if you are, you know, let's say in the context of marriage, and when you're ready to have baby, when you get pregnant, you welcome the baby, not when, you know, you are experimenting and then you, as a teenager, you accidentally got yourself, you know, pregnant, and then you have to make that decision whether to abort, you know, to keep, or to become a teen parents, or to give away for adoption. There's a lot of challenges that comes after that. So parents, you know, be a coach to them. Yeah, this is not a platform to like how to tell them about sex. Yeah, do your own homework.
Okay, there's one question, Sureen, you've asked if kids would like to inquire further about after this session. I think basically we are going to upload our Teenage Survival Kit. We will be starting a website. So probably you can actually look into our Facebook, and soon it will be uploaded. So we should be able to come up with something. Shanti, how can we as parents save? I think Bailey, this question is for you. How can we as parents save our kids from this kind of social life and prevent them from it?
Okay, I don't think yeah, there's no way to prevent. You need to know. You need to really know what is your child involved in, and then have an adult to adult conversation. While they are not fully adult yet, but they are still an adult. Yeah, because you know, in the how to say, the biological world is either you're a child or you're an adult. It's like a kitten and a cat. You know, there's no in between one. It's only the sociologists or anthropologists that eventually, you know, just label something to indicate the teenagers. You know, those days, you know, our great-grandparents married at a very young age. You know, they sometimes by age of 30, they are really an adult already. Yeah. But I think the long story short is really know what they are doing. Get to know their friends. Yeah. In an age appropriate manner, not in a way that, you know, they are still a little child that I have to like tell them what to do, what not to do.
Tanisha, you have got one question. What type of food do you advise not to get menstrual pain? Well, menstrual pain is actually part and parcel of menstruation in some girls, okay? Especially young girls, you do get menstrual pain. So the issue about menstrual pain is because what is happening, why do you get menstrual pain? It's because your uterus, which, you know, is loaded with blood now, it is actually squeezing to throw that blood away. Okay, that's in actual thing. So when you get this squeezing kind of pain, and that is what is actually there is no food as such that can actually avoid menstrual pain. But I think what is important is if you have menstrual pain, you can use like simple things like hot water bag, And if you think that your menstrual pain is really very bad and you really cannot function, then there is no issue about taking menstrual Panadol. Okay, don't wait, because there are some kids who get very severe pain where they even faint. They even don't go to school. Every month they have to lose 1 day of school, 1 or 2 days of school. I think if you know you are really down with that kind of a pain, it is best actually to just take Panadol just before you get your pain. Now, there is no harm in doing that, okay? But a hot water bag is actually very, very soothing for menstrual pain. It is dangerous with the hormones to the rest of our body. Not too sure. I don't really understand this question. Anybody? It is dangerous with the hormones to the rest. The hormones, I'm not sure whether you're talking about hormones that actually come out into the system during the time of biological hormones that come out in our body. They are part and parcel of our body, actually.
Yeah. I think there's one question about spicy food, why girls cannot eat. I think that's it's a issue about pimples.
Pimples,
acne.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sumitra, it's sex doesn't mean that just telling the gender, but it's more to it. But that's why parents, I think, should take the responsibility to start introducing the topic, especially when they are young teens, instead of they exploring it through this internet and getting wrong ideas. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. What a book on sex education. Yeah.
But I think should go through.
Yeah, you can read it with them. I think that will be even better.
There's a question on how to encourage teenagers to choose correct friends.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's very important. Yeah. Where is that? Is it one of the questions?
The question was how to encourage teenagers to choose correct friends. Bailey perhaps should.
What is a right friend? My question is, what is a right friend? A right friend for your teenager may not be a right friend for you. See, let me just give you a scenario. In school, there's this gangsterism situation. Yeah, there's gangsterism now in the school. Somehow, everyone knows gangsterism is not good. But the teenagers, they are still wanting to be so included into that gang, knowing that it is not a good place. Yeah, I wonder if you have wondered why, why are they still involving in such unhealthy friendship? So the understanding that we have, in the gangster world, they have got this brotherhood. They are very loyal to one another. They will die for each other. That kind of they give them that sense of belonging. Yeah. So if they do not have that sense of belonging from a healthy place, like from their family, that's where they will just go out and go to the society and find where I can have this belonging. Yeah, so to you, it is not healthy, but to them, they feel that they can be themselves. They are very comfortable. Yeah. So at the end, you may want to evaluate, how's my relationship with my kids? Yeah. So that again, if it's healthy, if you could have open communication, and that's where you can slowly influence your children or your teenagers about what you think and what is acceptable for the family values.
Yeah, I think there was one question by a mother about how to tell the daughter about death, and the daughter just asked about it suddenly. Are you still there, Saraswati? Is it? She's still there.
What is the full question?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, yeah. So what was your concern about how to tell your daughter or tell your child about death? Is it?
Yes, yeah. How to explain to her that basically the question, she just asked the question out just all of a sudden one day when we were going through like there were many COVID cases happening, and I'm not sure if that fear is still if she still has that fear. So I'm not sure how to broach the subject with her.
Or just ask her directly, what makes, first ask them what makes you ask mommy about this question, and what do you understand about death? See where they are first. Probably they have got a wrong concept about death, that's why they are so scared. So what you can do is always ask them, what do they want, what makes them ask, what triggers them. Then you know how to answer that very wide questions. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
And then in general, let's say if it's not the kind of COVID situation, yeah, death is something that all of us will go through. Children will eventually ask. Yeah, and the common answer that we all say is that, maybe grandfather had gone far, far away. What are some other common answers that you all have heard? It's like they never address that, he's gone, he's dead. Yeah, one of the way we use illustration, it's like flower, flower will die. So when it dies, it dies. So if we can use this kind of metaphor to understand what is death. So again, it depends on age appropriate, your child's age. Then we use appropriate illustration.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now, the time is now, we have sort of overshot in time, but I think so much has been explained, so much has, being shared. And I really feel that there's a lot more, that parents may want to ask, or the young children may want to ask. So, but perhaps we have evaluation form, which we hope all who are still present will fill up and complete and send it, so that we know what you want and we can share more in our future session. This won't be the last session that we are going to hold for relevant topics like this. And I think for many of us here now, we know that parenting is not an easy task. So all children and all young ladies and men, I hope you do appreciate your parents. It's not easy to be a parent. And parents, I hope you do appreciate also your children, the learning that you get as you become, a parent, as a journey from, being a baby to a child, to a teenager and adult. Life is a long process sometimes, but life is also short. Yeah. So today I think we come to the end of the program. I would really like to thank our three speakers, Dr. Indrani, Dr. Yo, and Nora, who have shared with you many important facts and information. And also, I hope it has answered some of the questions that you have. Now, of course, if you have any more questions, feel free to ask, when you submit the evaluation, or contact any of us, where the phone numbers were given in the flyer, and also some of the contacts which has been, shared in the slide here. And so all good things must come to an end. And so any more from the speakers? Anyone want to share anything or add anything?
Yeah, I think Koshigan, you have a question for me about legal custodian. You can contact Doreen, and then you can get my number from her. Okay?
Okay.
Koshigan.
Okay.
And
So,
anyone else who has any legal questions, you can let Doreen know, and I can answer you
please
personally.
WhatsApp or email me, no problem, and we would be happy to help you out. Yeah. So actually, on behalf of SICB International Organization and on behalf of the Suroptimist Club of Bangsa, we'd like to thank everyone who is present here today for making this interesting session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, all speakers. Thank you, Peng, the president of SICB, and all of you who have helped out today. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Each other, yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.